We only have 5 minutes. So. Okay, guys. So we're going to do a quick review on the texture lines that you learned in the 6th grade and how you might be using them on your final project. I'm going to draw in Sharpie just so it shows up better on the screen. But if you remember right, we had hatching lines, and hatching lines are the one direction, right? So if you had hair on your person, you might have a contoured hatching line that shows, their hairstyle or whatever. You might have hair on a dog that's going to go in one direction and kind of like overlap. You might have grass. Grass, you're going to go up as you lift off. It kind of gives it a finer tip. If you were doing like water reeds or something along a pond, you might have longer lines or flower stems or something like that. So hatching is very useful as a texture. Cross hatching is where your lines go across each other. A lot of times they make a crisscross pattern, but they're not necessarily uniform. This might be for a rough surface. You can use it for a lot of different things. When you have, that's cross hatching, and you have stippling, which is actually easier with a marker. But remember, the stippling is the little dots. So if you were doing a gravel road, you might want to do some stippling along the edge of the gravel road. You might want to do, to show that gravel. If you had a beach that you were drawing, you might have some stippling in the sand. So the stippling is the little dots, right? Okay. You've also got your, what am I thinking of? Scumbling. That's the little loopies. Okay, so little loopies, if you had a road, gravel, rocks on a seashore, you can do bigger. It's just kind of it's a bouncy line that you overlap. Treetops, bushes, all those kind of things. Clouds really are kind of just a very loose line like that if you were doing clouds in the sky or something like that. This little elementary cloud is probably not appropriate for our 8th grade level of drawing at this time. There's different scumbling you can use, figure eights. I do kind of a C shape when I'm making treetops. It's more of like a C and an inside out C or backwards C. So those are your 5. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you have invented textures. They are. It's just scribbles. It's called scumbling. But, a scribble has no control. This is a scribble. Okay? I'm controlling what I do. I'm controlling how close together it is, how much it overlaps so it looks dark and dense, or I'm controlling the size and the spaces and the amount that it overlaps to give the illusion of an object, whether it's a treetop or a bush or gravel or foam on the ocean wave. You can use these lines to help give information about your story. We've been talking about the narrative arc. You're always telling a story, but you tell a story with details. So you have to draw those details in. Invented was the last one. One that I have done in a lot of my abstract drawings is like using little circles. If you're making a tree, you can do something like that. A jagged line is another one for a tree. So as the artist, you're inventing whatever texture suits your style and your ideas for your project. Yes, hatching, cross-hatching, stippling, scumbling, those are ones that we have like vocabulary art terms for, but there's a million other ones that can be used. Contour lines, remember when you're going, following a contour is an outline of something. So if you had a river and you had a rock in your river's going to go around that rock. It can't go through it, right? So that's a contour. Or if you had a tree trunk, your bark is going to contour with the tree. It's not going to go this way. It's going to go with the contour of the outline of the tree, because that's how bark grows. Okay, so that's how you use texture and many different things. Maybe there's a hole in the tree. You can color it in black, or you can do kind of a scribbly, scumbling texture. It's going to give that illusion that maybe there's